great inventions that this award-winning entrepreneur and inventor has come up with is a genius idea. A genius idea because it's called the Genius Sponge. You're going to get, look at this, a set of 12 sponges. 12 sponges, $16.95. But what makes this sponge so different, Miss Debbie?
What makes it completely different from the thing you're used to seeing around your kitchen, that horrible piece of garbage there.
I'm going to get you gloves one day.
Yeah, I know.
Not touch that.
It's a good thing I have a good immune system. This sponge, it will inhibit the growth, and this is independent lab tested and proven as well, will inhibit the growth of molds and bacteria, and I'm talking about the big stuff like MRSA, E. coli, salmonella, black mold. In and on that sponge for the life of that sponge. How long is the life of that sponge? Every one of my sponges will last the equivalent of 15 ordinary cellulose sponges. How, okay, math in the morning.
You're so glad you're gonna do it.
12 of my sponges with the scrubber on the back.
Right.
That will replace, come on here because you've got to see this happen.
There it is.
That's 180 cellulose
it's like
sponges.
A bushel of sponges.
That you don't have to buy. You just have 12 of mine.
And plus,
so this is money.
These are going to work completely differently from
absolutely.
these.
Let's show you. So what you want to do is get rid of this because that's very scary. And we're going to show you a tape about it in a moment. And let's, in fact, I'd like to show you the tape that the independent laboratory made because this will explain it to you completely. That's the sponge you currently have next to your sink. See all that stuff? That's what's in or on your sponge. And it's not just there, it's growing. It's getting worse. That's why it stinks. All right? You walk past your sink and you smell that. Simply switching to one of my sponges. Now that's an animation of what happens when anything is picked up on my sponge. You see this? They're going poof, poof. That's because nothing can live in or on my sponge. The other thing is that my sponge also has, and by the way, the ingredient is natural. Just like all my other things, it's natural. So that's what's keeping the sponge fresh. It has a scrubber on the back. It's made of the same material as the front in just a different formulation to become a scrubber. So if you've ever scrubbed out a pan and started picking out the scrambled eggs because it won't rinse clean, you won't have that with this. This will rinse absolutely clean every time you use it. So once you use it, you rinse it under the sink, the running water like that. You put it down next to your sink. Next time you pick it up, it's a brand new sponge. It's like having a fresh sponge every time. But the absorption on this sponge is absolutely fascinating. I made a mess. What I do at home is I don't even try and wipe it up. I just plunk my sponge down on it. Look at it. Can you see? Can you actually see? It's actually climbing into the sponge. I'm not doing a thing.
That's insane.
It's gone, right?
That is insane.
It's gone. It's dry where it was. There's the rest of the spill. I'm just going to put it next to it. Oh, there it goes again. That's how much fun this is. This is 40% more than any other sponge and 22% its own weight in liquid. So when you use this sponge...
Have you ever seen a sponge do that? Ever? I mean, the others is just like, just keep moving it over, moving it over.
It's not just your kitchen. It's, what is the actual wettest place in the house? The bathroom.
Right.
So I keep one of these next to every sink. So everybody wipes off their sink and actually, then when they rinse it off, I know it's a nice clean sponge every time. We keep them, you'll see 5-star reviews. I'm so excited how many people will take the time to actually write a 5-star review on a sponge.
On a sponge, guys.
What they love about it.
Look at the ratings on it. I mean, it is just like the little tiny point of a star shy of a perfect 5-star review. And you use these every day. We're going to give you 12 for $16.95. 5 flex payments on that as well in honor of the birthday for our country and our HSN birthday. And look at how this thing works. It's amazing, right? But you get a dozen of them. The
only reason it's not soaking up that is that it's so far away from it. Look, it actually soaked up everything else. There it goes. This is so easy. You know me. I don't want to do any extra work. Why would I make you do extra work? So to take care of these, you simply rinse it out under running water, squeeze it. You're going to use less soap because it's really going to foam up big when you use dish soap. However, you no longer have to think about doing things like bleaching a sponge. Why would you microwave a disgusting thing like this? I don't want that where I cook food.
And it's where you're smelling it because it gets that awful.
I don't want bleach. I don't want chemicals. I don't want anything. This is all you have to do. You rinse it, See how soft it is? That's so soft, and it will stay that way. It'll stay soft, it'll stay odor-free, and you see the shape? I made it that shape because, ladies, I have fingernails too. I wanted a shape where I could grab my sponge and not have my nails touch the scrubber. So even when I'm using the scrubber, I can actually just grab the sponge. So little things mean a lot to me.
We told you it was a genius idea.
The biggest thing that means something to me is the science of the sponge. Again, when you're wiping things, like let's say you take this horrible thing, and you had chicken for dinner, so you're washing your cutting board. Now I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to do the glassware. I'm going to do the baby's toys need some washing. I have spread everything that's on that sponge to everything that I'm trying to keep clean, including where we throw cereal down for the baby to eat. Stop it, okay? Now what you do?
Smell your sponge.
Just smell
You'll just get it, okay?
You know how many people think it's in their sink? The sink smells? It's not your sink, it's your sponge. All right, so what happens is that when you wash with this, you may pick up contaminants, but they're gonna go away. It's as simple as that. We're not killing things. It's not a disinfectant. What it is that the sponge itself will not allow the growth of molds and bacteria in or on the sponge through a natural ingredient for the life of the sponge, and that includes this side, the scrubber side. This is so easy to use. You don't have to think about it. You simply rinse it out, put it down. Tomorrow morning, it's a new sponge.
And, you know, put it to the test. Take it home, try it.
You'll see what other people are saying about it.
Smell this, because you will not smell anything. That's how amazing this is. And don't forget, this is the equivalent of replacing, look at this.
When you buy 12 of my sponges,
one picture's worth 1,000 words.
That's 180 cellulose sponges you don't have to buy.
Right, because these 12 sponges will replace this many of your traditional, but they even work better than these on every different level.
Absolutely, and those things too, when you think about that, how is a sponge economical? It's economical when you don't have to buy it. Right, so you're only gonna buy 12 of these. Because they are so squishy, they will get into small spaces. They will get into all kinds of little tiny spaces. I can actually wipe out bottles. There's the bathroom sink. Your chrome will shine like you will have never seen it before just using this sponge to dry it off.
And what is it? It holds 22 times its own weight.
Its own weight.
22 times. Think of all of the paper towels.
Oh, gosh.
Think of the trees you're saving.
You basically
You're saving an entire forest.
You know what I do when we go out, especially when we go out with our grandkids? I take one of these and I put it in a plastic bag. I just put it, sometimes I bring my green bag and just throw it in a green bag. When we're out, if there's a spill, if somebody's face gets full of something, I can wipe them off with this. I bring it home, I rinse it out, and it's done. I don't have to worry about where's a paper towel? Where am I going to wipe or something? I'd love to show you this science video again because I want you to understand this is real science. That is the sponge that you're currently got right next to your sink now. And that's the reason you've got smells coming out of it. That's bacteria and molds growing. It's not just on or in the sponge, it's growing. When you switch to my sponge, watch a little poof, poof. That's because the natural ingredient in my sponge that is part of the construction of my sponge is inhibiting the growth of those molds and bacteria. You cannot wash out or wear out the effectiveness of my sponges. They will last as long as that sponge lasts. I got people telling me they're still using the first sponge. You know, and last, I'll tell you something that I think is even more charming. People gave these away as stocking stuffers last Christmas. They put ribbons on them and put them in stockings.
But you need a sponge in the bathroom. You need them in the kitchen. You need them all over the place, you know? May even need them out by the pool area. Now you're going to have a dozen for $16.95. This birthday price will not last. The quantity will not last. And frankly, the 5 flex payment will go away tomorrow night at midnight if any of these are left. But please read the reviews on it. The customer pick on this, absolutely incredible.
Touch it.
It is bone dry.
Bone dry. I'm going to put it at the other end and let it soak up the rest of it. The trouble is that it's actually soaking it up so much that it's actually breaking the surface. So it's dry there again. There's a little bit. Let's just get rid of it altogether.
There it is.
Let's finish up that silly spill. And it's dry. If you want to take them with you on camping trips or in your RV, you don't have to worry about schlepping along all these towels and cloths and stuff. I'm not a cloth girl.
And what you spend on the paper towels over and over and over again. Or these, I'm not picking up that.
I know.
Or that.
Okay, I'll be the brave one.
Or just spend on that, and that thing will smell. That does not have any of the properties that the Debbie Meyer Genius Sponge
The only
does.
property this has is the ability to harbor all kinds of things you don't you can't even pronounce. But my sponge will inhibit the growth of molds and bacteria like MRSA, E. coli, salmonella, black mold, all these things. Remember, independent laboratory testing. I do that so that you can feel confident when you're using one of my products that it's already proven to work before you get it.
Right.
There's no question. I'm not saying
It's
to you it might
independently
work.
tested.
Yeah,
No.
it's not an opinion. This is science. It's tested. It's proven. Millions of my sponges have already been purchased right here at HSN. And the funniest thing is when I walk down the hall and people start telling me, I have your sponge, I use your sponges, I give your sponges. Ladies in the prep kitchen have told me they're using my sponges because they know they feel safer.
Listen, stay in the ordering process for this. Also go back, if you have not gotten the Debbie Meyer green bags,
also
make sure you pick those up, okay? And she's gonna be back at 4 o'clock today. We'll see you then. But you're gonna see something brand new from